Hi everyone, so I'm back again with a new video on writing task 2, both in TOEFL and IELTS. It doesn't matter which exam you're planning to take, because what I'm about to tell you can be applied to both exams. We're not going to be talking about the structure of an essay or the differences between the exams. We are going to strictly be talking about the writing of a body paragraph, especially when it comes to language use. Now, my students often ask me a question. They say that they are at a high level of English, they are very proficient, they are advanced learners, but they don't get the score they want. They want a 9 in writing, but they get 7 in IELTS. They want a score of 30 in TOEFL writing, but they get 25. Now, why is that the case? To answer this question, I've chosen two body paragraphs written about the same question. The question is about choosing the best type of neighbor, and the people who have written these two paragraphs have chosen supportive neighbors as the best type of neighbor. All right. Now, one of these paragraphs is written by Michael Gooden, who's a TOEFL teacher. He's a native speaker of English, and he often gets the score of 30 on his TOEFL exams. The other one is written by a language learner, an Iranian language learner, who is very, very proficient. All right. But one of them gets a very high score, the other one doesn't. And we're going to read both of them, and I'm going to tell you why one of them gets a high score and the other one doesn't. Let's read the first one. I'm not going to tell you which one is written by Michael Gooden. First of all, our lives are full of unplanned emergencies, and supportive people in our neighborhood are likely to help us when they occur. Oftentimes, the people living close to us are the only ones who can provide essential assistance when things go terribly wrong. For instance, my family experienced a major house fire several years ago. It was a traumatic experience that happened in the middle of the night, and we lost many of our personal belongings. No one was injured, but we suffered an extreme amount of emotional trauma. However, the damage was reduced thanks to the quick thinking of a compassionate neighbor who immediately called the fire department when he saw what was happening, and who also provided us with clean clothes, food, and a place to stay for the night. This example demonstrates how important it is to have kind and supportive neighbors when a crisis happens. This was the first one. Let's read the second one. First and foremost, such are the vicissitudes of modern life, and so unforeseeably do they present themselves to us that without enlisting the aid of benevolent and supportive people who live in the vicinity of our houses, we are helpless in rectifying the situation. This means only with neighbors who are at our beck and call, ready to help, can we untangle what befalls us unexpectedly, since proximity is of utmost prominence and time plays an undeniable role when the issue at hand occurs out of the blue. An example can shed light on what I'm trying to convey here. A while back, before you can say knife, when the clock had struck midnight, a fire broke out in our residence. Being a traumatic experience, we had come to believe that our doom was awaiting us. Nonetheless, our next door neighbor, being a compassionate and supportive one, thought on her feet and reported the incident to the fire department. Not only did she rescue us from going down in flames, but also she invited us to take shelter at her domicile and comforted us with providing us with exquisite clothes and gourmet food. Had we not had such a supportive neighbor, we would not have survived that night. Alright. Now, can you guess which one is written by a person who got the score of 30 and which one is written by a person who will at most get the score of 25 in TOEFL? I don't know if you guessed it correctly or not, but the first one is written by Michael Gooden, and the second one is written by a language learner who will not get a very high score. Now you might ask me, the second one is much more advanced. The second one has a lot of advanced vocabulary, idioms, and structures, but the first one looks very simple. But I'm gonna ask you something else. Which one is easier to read? Which one is easy on the eyes? Which one is clearer? Definitely the first one, right? The first one has a clear progression. It is very clear, it is very easy to read, and the person who wants to score this essay knows that the writer of the paragraph is very proficient and can easily and comfortably use the English language. Pay attention to these words, easily and comfortably. Now, when you read the second paragraph, do you think the writer can easily and comfortably write an essay and use English? Definitely not. The writer, it is obvious that the writer of the second paragraph has thought about choosing advanced words, has thought about choosing the word vicissitudes of modern life, has thought about using the inversion here, or another inverted structure here. And the sentences are too long and too complicated to understand in one sitting. All right? So guys, what I want to tell you today is that there is no criterion about writing in a complex manner. You don't get a score based on writing in a very complex manner. I'm going to show you the rubrics for scoring a TOEFL Task 2 essay. As you can see here, the highest score, 5, has a criterion, and it says displays consistent facility in the use of language. Facility in the use of language, what does it mean? It means that language comes easy to the writer. Using language is easy for the writer, okay? And the essay has clear progression. The progression of the essay is clear. This one, the first one, looks like a stream of water which is flowing very smoothly, but it's not the case with the second one, although both of them basically say the same thing. All right, so don't try to write in a complex manner. Don't force yourself to use complicated words and structures. Try to be clear and let the reader of your essay follow you with no difficulty. Okay, let the reader feel comfortable reading your essay. Now, I'm not saying that you should use simple structures all the time. You need to have a wide range of grammar and vocabulary, which can be visible in this essay. This paragraph actually has a wide range of grammar and vocabulary. Nothing is being repeated, but it's easy to follow. It's simple, unlike the second one, which needs a lot of concentration and a lot of thought. All right, so that's why the first one gets a higher score. All right, thank you very much for listening to me, and please don't forget to subscribe.